Hey guys, what's up? It's Val and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really cool Zoom call that I'm going to be joining with some friends that are market partners in the MONAT business, and I'm going to be coaching everybody on the call on how to grow their social media, how to find their audience, how to build content for that audience, how to plan their content, and lots of fun other stuff. So I'm even going to be teaching how to take professional photos and videos using your iPhone and even editing them to make sure that they look on point. So stick with me through this PowerPoint. It's a long call, but it's super worth it. So let's go ahead and jump to the call. So, welcome everybody. It's so good to see you. So many faces. Awesome. So I'm going to get started now. I'm just going to start sharing my screen and open up the chat as well. So I created this special training for everybody. I'm going to stop sharing my video here so you guys can see here. Okay. And then let me also open up the chat. If at any point you guys have questions, feel free to interrupt me. Hey Isa. Fun fact, Isa knows me since I was...
Hello, I'm just a student here, okay?
Fun fact, guys, Isa knows me since I was probably 8 years old. So I definitely admire her a lot. She's an amazing leader, and if you're under her team, she's awesome. Thank you so much, Tamara, for having me and for getting connected with me.
Thank you, Tamara, for organizing this. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. So welcome. Who is ready to slay the social media game? I am. I don't know if you guys are, but I want to see your comments. And yeah, again, if you have any questions at all, just pop them into the chat. Okay. Awesome. So quick intro, guys. My name is Val, Valentina. Some people call me China because it's my nickname. But I am 23 years old, and I am a content creator and I guess what you can call a social media guru. Also, my business focuses on digital marketing and empowering people in an imperfect way, because I'm not the perfect one, but empowering people in growing their business. And today specifically, I made a special coaching PowerPoint for you guys, specifically for MONAT. So let's get started. So first things first. Before you start posting on social media, I'm just gonna introduce you guys to something. Maybe you've heard of it before, maybe you haven't, but this is called building an audience. What is the major key in marketing anything? So, marketing success comes with building an audience, building a following, and your audience is basically your ideal client. You need to grow this audience over time and cater specifically for it. Your audience gives you vision when you're creating content, and your audience also helps you direct your content for a specific purpose. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking a lot about creating content and also planning, but you can't do any of that without knowing what your audience is. So when you find your audience and you develop it, this is what's called your ideal client. So it's your target audience. A target audience, think of it, who is on the other side of your sale? Whose problems are you trying to solve? Who do you think that you can count on and you market this business that you have? So who's on the other side? So close your eyes, and obviously we have a female and male audience, but who's your target? The reason why you want to find a target audience and a specific niche, in other words, niche means that it's like a selected group of people that you are marketing to. Think of it as a net when you cast it out, guys. When you cast out your net, you don't want to cast it to the vast ocean with no idea what's under it. You want to make sure that you find a place specifically where there's fish, and so you guys can, get great results, right? So when you're casting this net, you want to target it in a specific area. You don't want to go in blind. When you have your content kind of all over the place and you don't have a defined audience, it can affect how your things, how your how your posts perform. So you might ask yourself, when is the right time to start building an audience? The sooner the better. So once you start building your audience, you're going to start learning things here and there from them. You're going to start studying and choosing the right content for them, what channels works best with them, and what voice you have with them, and what message you're trying to sell to them. So an audience is the other person, your ideal client on the other side of things. So you really, really want to grow a relationship with them. How many of you guys know social media is social? It's not just a selling platform or a tool for your business, but the main reason why your clients are on Instagram or on Facebook is because they're seeking some type of social interaction. So you want to build an audience, and the reason why is because when you're creating content, you're talking to someone on the other end and you're trying to build that specific relationship. So let's make sure before you start, promoting to that audience. And if I'm going too fast, guys, feel free to ask questions or tell me to slow down or something. But okay, so you want to make sure that you're setting up your page correctly. Why? I've seen so many people start marketing themselves in MONAT and they don't have their page as set up to its best potential. Oh, there's some microphones that are, yeah, can you guys mute just so the audio is clear? Okay, cool. So, you want to make sure that when you set up your page that it's set up correctly. And guys, I know that there's a myth out there. I don't know if I should make my page a business page. I feel like it's going to affect the algorithm or the way that people see my posts. Well, that's just a myth. There's not solid facts behind it. So I definitely suggest to you guys, make sure that your pages are set up as a business page. Now, you might ask yourself, Val, how do I do that? It's very simple. You just go into your settings and you click the option to create a business page, and it'll connect it to Facebook. So you can even set up your settings correctly, and if you set up correctly, then you actually can post. Every post that you have on Instagram will automatically post on Facebook, and you kill two birds with one stone. So first things first, your profile picture. Obviously, as a business, you might want to have a logo, but I'm going to talk today about your face. So I'm going to actually take out this. So your face, you want to make sure that your face looks clear and that it's a headshot. You might ask me, Val, what is a headshot? You're confusing me. A headshot is a picture that's focused mostly on your head, on your face, and it is from shoulders, from like where a short sleeve t-shirt would end, up. Now, you want to keep in mind, you don't want, a headshot is not a full body picture. It's not a like mid body picture. It's a headshot. It's completely head focused, and it shows a little bit of your shoulders. How do I suggest for you guys to take these headshots? These are some do's and don'ts for your profile picture. Double check your Instagram and make sure that you're not doing the don'ts, and maybe try to find a picture that can best fit this. If you don't have one, go and take one. I'm going to teach you guys later how to take professional pictures with your iPhone and make them look professional. So, how are you guys doing? Interact with me in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So, here's some do's and here's some don'ts. Upload a clean image of yourself in high quality. Guys, we have phones nowadays that have amazing cameras. I'm gonna share a quick story. The first camera I got from my dad bought me a camera. It was a DSLR, what you consider a professional camera, and it only shot 15 megapixels. Now the iPhone 10 has 14 megapixels. Like, it's such an incredible camera. So take a selfie, but try to make sure that that it's clean, very distraction free. And this is how I suggest to do distraction free. You want to make sure that you have a solid or bright background. I suggest colors. It makes everything look cleaner and nicer. Try to not have a picture that's someone else in it. It's your page. So try to have a picture with just you, and that you're smiling, that you're friendly. Remember, this is a face that people are building a social connection with. Now, one tip that I suggest, if you have any white backgrounds in your house, or maybe find a wall that has pretty texture, try to go take a picture from there, stand like 3 feet in front of it, and ask your husband, your friend, your sister, your mom, I don't know, anybody who's there, and ask them to take a picture of you. And then there you'll have that solid background photo. Laugh, try to not make it so posy, try to make it more friendly and appealing. So why is this also important? Because for future followers, they want to recognize a face. And if you're like not so, like if it's like a bad photo that's like barely dark, you can't really see it too much. So last thing, try to match it with your brand. Now, your brand can be, I'm not going to go too deep into details, but your brand is your business. We have to, maybe we can do another call another day of how to build your brand. But building your brand is so important because colors are in it. You might think of a brand as, oh, it's just your logo. And it's not just your logo. It's the message, the way that you talk, your voice, how your face, how you communicate with your clients, how you interact with them. All that is so important with your brand. So you want your profile picture? You want your profile picture to be a link between and a bridge with your brand. You want it to coincide with it. So a quick tip is, if you have certain filters, and we'll talk about filters and editing photos in a bit, you want the filters and your posts that are under in your feed on your Instagram page to match the same style that is on your profile picture. So you can create a clean and cohesive aesthetic. Don't post dark photos. I suggest, guys, try to take pictures that, if they are indoors, use natural lighting. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but don't post dark photos. Don't post low quality. However, Instagram and Facebook automatically will compress your photo. So if you're taking a picture with a professional camera or even with your iPhone, you're going to notice that it's going to make it a little bit blurry because it shrinks your icon so much. Take a look at your phone, scroll on Instagram, look at people's profile icons, and look at how small they are. That's why it's so important to just focus on your face. Now, if you have a full body picture as your profile picture, when people are scrolling on your feed, people might not recognize it's you, only if they read your name. But people scroll so fast on Instagram that you might actually lose the opportunity for someone to engage with you in a post. So don't post photos from behind your back, or not being able to see your face, guys. If you have a photo that's maybe like, you know, more artistic, that you really like the picture, try to not post with it like behind your back as your profile picture. Again, this is your face that you want to be showing on that. Oh, and sorry guys, I also teach online coaching sessions, and this is a PowerPoint from there as well. So your bio, you want to think of this section as your online social media business card. So these are 5 things.
Good, how are you? Good. Are you at over there?
Oh, okay. So these are 5 major keys that in your bio to have. Number 1, you want to have your name, and you want to have it spelled correctly. You don't want it to be all mushed up together, or you don't want to have like anything else but your name very clear, maybe your first name, your last name, or your nickname that most people know you by. The reason why is because you really want to be recognized on the platform, and when people search you, if you have it spelled incorrectly or spelled in a different way that's not too recognizable, then people won't be able to find your page. And you can be doing great strategies to get your page out there, but then when people want to like repost you or search your page or find something later, they can't find you. So very key if you want to be searched. Number 2, what you do. So very important, guys, that in your bio, what you want, especially since you're using your page to market this business, you want to, I know that some of you have, helping women or helping people build an income through Wi-Fi or financial freedom, or maybe you have your current rank, like if it's market mentor or SED, you want to have that there, but you don't want to give your whole life story. You want to get to the point. And remember, this is like your business card, so people just want to know what you do. Now, number 3, mission statement, your one-liner. Okay, I was just talking about that. So your one-liner is something that really resonates with people. You want to show that you solve somebody's problem and that you are the solution. You want to show results that you will give them. So if your main goal is to get VIPs and yes, to get more market partners, but mostly to sell to VIP specifically, then make sure that you're like, okay, empowering people to feel more confident in their skin and their hair. So that would be your one-liner. Now, if your goal is to just get market partners and along the way also seal in some regular clients as VIPs, then you want to make your bio and your one-liner to be like helping people get financial freedom, or empowering people in building their own business through Wi-Fi or working from home, something like that. That's more like you want people to like relate to, and they also want to have. So number 4, your website. So obviously, like it's not that common with MONAT to have your own website, although I do suggest it, and it's an idea that I have to like present to you guys someday. But I also suggest having a link tree. So you've seen it on a lot of pages. A lot of businesses have this, not necessarily with MONAT, but a link tree or a type of software or app that can get multiple links in one. What do you want to have in your link tree? The way that you write it, I don't suggest to have just say hair quiz or latest sale, or here's just the MONAT website. You want to make sure that all the buttons that you list with the links that have call to action. So take my hair quiz. Ask for how do I say this? I want to improve my skin. So yes, Milkshake is also good. I personally use Linktree, and I pay for the pro version. I think it's the best one because you can fully customize and brand it. So I definitely suggest to invest the $7 a month for Linktree. So you want these buttons to have a sense of like call to action to them, and for people to like kind of be like, oh yes, I do want to download this free guide, or yes, I want to find out more information about this. You don't want to just state something bland. For example, to recruit market partners, I wouldn't just say, remember, these people don't know what the name market partner means. You can say, here's my, go take my influencer quiz, or want to become an influencer, click here. Something like that, that's like, oh, okay, I understand what they're saying. You want to have a simple and clear message. Number 5, your contact form. So this is what I personally suggest. On Instagram, when you have it set up as a business page, you want to make sure that you have your contact button available and offer different types of contacts. So I personally use text because sometimes when I get phone calls, I don't really answer them. But if I get a text message, like, because it's like, okay, I don't know this phone number, so I'm not going to answer who they are. So I suggest putting text. But if you're more comfortable in answering phones, then, so be it. Go for it. So moving forward. Now, I think it's going to be your favorite part, guys. How to grow on social media. I get this question all the time. Val, how can I grow my followers? I'm frustrated. I have only 200, 300 followers and I don't know how to get out there. So I'm going to give you my tips on how to get started with that. But first you want to, again, grow your audience and your niche. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about the niche. A niche market is focused, targetable portion of a broader market. So let me break that down for you. Again, your niche market is a select amount of people that would become your ideal clients. These are the people that you would be catering your content to, and really focus like on building that like audience. Like these are the people that you're like, okay, I'm posting for you to jump on this sale. I'm posting for you to sign up. I'm posting to build a relationship with you. So this is what niche is. Moving forward, create content specifically for them. You want to make sure that, like how I was saying, you want to create only to them, and if these are your ideal clients, you have to think about, what do they want? Do they necessarily want to hear every single little thing that's happening with MONAT? Or do they want to hear success stories? Like, what exactly do my followers want? Now, you want to bring value to the table. It's good to keep a certain balance. You want to keep a balance with everyone. Wow, we have 50 people watching. That's crazy. Hi, everyone. You want to make sure that when you're planning out your content, and if you want to grow, you have to bring value to them. It's not only about promotion, it's also value. So you want to tell them, you can trust me to educate you a little bit about this. I want to give you just beauty tips. Why? Because people tend to not be that interested in something if it's all just promotion, 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 promotion. So here's my suggestion. Try to, out of 5 posts, make sure that 3 out of the 5 are value. And I'm going to show you different ways that you can give value to somebody. So again, create content that engages people and gets them to interact. You want to make sure that people are commenting. It's not only about likes, guys. If you get frustrated because you're not getting enough likes, you shouldn't be focusing on likes. Likes is more of a vanity number. It's just a number that will make you feel good or make you feel like, oh, okay, this performed well. But actually, what measures that if a post actually performed well is if you look at the comments and the shares within a post. If you see, okay, who is clicking on the link in my websites, who is, interacting with everything. You want to make sure that you look at comments and shares. Those are the insights that you guys should be looking at. Don't look at your follower count. Don't look at your likes. Look at the comments and the shares, because those are the real people that are on the other end that are actually willing to invest money in this business. So keep an eye out for that. Don't get frustrated if you're like, yes, and saves. So don't get frustrated if people are, maybe they're like, oh, don't get frustrated if, you're getting more likes or 0 comments at all. Try to create questions, try to interact with them. 5 posts, 3 with value. Posts are just ones that will appear on your feed. Okay, out of 5 posts, I suggest the ones on your feed, but yes, also your stories. You don't want to make all your stories just to promote a product. You can actually subconsciously promote a product by just bringing value to the table. Again, the reason why I say 3, 2 is because you want your value to overpower your promotion, because you want people to, number 1, trust you with the brand, get used to what you're saying, and we'll touch a little bit more of different types of content now. Now, collabing. Guys, I love seeing when people, do IG lives and now you can collab with people. And why is that important and how to grow your social media? Because you're tapping into another person's following, and that, like, you're exposing yourself to people that don't necessarily know you. So collabing is great, and giveaways are amazing as well. We'll talk about giveaways in a few. So research, get inspired. What do people want? Plan your content and create captions that are captivating. How in all the you're competing with meme accounts, you're competing with influencers, you're competing with family members and friends. How is your post gonna stand out in everybody else's news feed? Think of that. Hashtags also means more discovery. If you wanna, I would always suggest try to use hashtags that don't have that are not too general. Don't just put hair and beauty and women. You want to do something that's targeted to your niche. And then lastly, share. This is a quick pro tips break. Overthinking will slow you down. For those that aren't too comfortable in front of the camera, I've been there. I personally don't like how my voice sounds, but guess what? That's normal. It's normal to overthink, and it's normal to doubt yourself, guys. That's common, but if you let that stop you, that's when the problem comes. So say it with me. I refuse to let overthinking and doubt stop me. So I know we can be shy in front of the camera. We can be like, oh man, I don't think people are gonna like this, or maybe I don't think people are interested in these products. They are. You just have to educate them. So just say with me, I refuse to let overthinking continually stop me. I know that you can be like, oh man, my picture isn't nice enough, or my graphic wasn't nice enough. This person did it better. If you stay in that zone and you're just thinking, you're not actually putting out the content. So overthinking will slow you down and eventually hit stop. I've recorded so many videos and have not posted them. I know, I've been there, but once you conquer that...
I want to live in Texas. Like, my life and with my kids, my husband, I want to make it in Texas.
Just be yourself and... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, just be yourself with makeup or no makeup. I love that. Yes. Okay, so let's keep going. No consistency and discipline equals no growth. A lot of the times we get inspired and we get hyped up and we're like, okay, I'm gonna post because there's a new sale happening, and then you stop talking about it. Or you start getting discouraged after you get like 3 views on a video. Guys, don't let that stop you. Keep showing up. Practice makes perfect. Keep showing up. Don't worry about, yes, the market is oversaturated. Yes, everyone's getting on it because it works. But don't let that stop you. Don't think that you're annoying people, because once you start assuming what other people are thinking, they're probably not even thinking that, guys. They're probably not even thinking that. But stop assuming what your audience is saying. Just get out there, be consistent, and be creative. Now, discipline is very important. You get it all the time. You get messages from your uplines and you're like, all right, guys, post this graphic. Don't forget to post. Hey, don't forget to push this. And they're saying it for a reason, because they want to help you. But discipline and constantly showing up, it's not only about showing up for Monet, show up for your life. Share people an insight of your life, because all of this is about, building a relationship with someone. Show up and just encourage someone today. Inspire them to do something, to go out, maybe a DIY project, maybe some cooking at home. You want to also be social and personal. So yes, you're going to have to promote sales because the demand is there, but keep the discipline to show up even though there's not a crazy sale happening, or because you hit the goal that you wanted to hit. Keep showing up. Don't let that stop you, because you will not see growth on your social media for that, or growth in your sales. Number 3, giving up is not an option. Everybody go comment that right now, or say it out loud in your room. Giving up is not an option anymore. It is not an option at all. Yes, not everybody can climb, a mountain on their first try. You have to, take the stairs in order to succeed. There's no elevator. You have to take the stairs. You have to fall a couple times. You might have to take a step back a few times to analyze how everything's performing. Go and study what's happening. Giving up is not an option. Why am I saying all of this before we continue in creating content? Is because, yes, you'll get hyped right now and you'll go on stories and you'll go talk about, okay, I just received an awesome class, or I'm going to go and edit some pictures and find my aesthetic and find my niche and find my audience, and I'm going to become, amazing and explode all my numbers. But then you don't see the numbers right away. You don't see the VIPs coming in. You don't see the market mentors signing up. People are unfollowing you because maybe they don't like your content anymore, and you start getting discouraged. But don't let this discouragement stop you. Keep going. Giving up is not an option. Now, I'm going to tell you guys my secret weapon to grow. Everyone focuses so much on the future people that are coming. But the Bible says, and I'm going to throw some scripture here. The Bible says, if I trust you with the little, I'll give you more. If you go and trust yourself with the little of the followers that you have, and you focus on becoming a micro influencer, you'll make it to the top. But first you need to feed to the ones that are currently there. Why? Because if you focus too much on the future, you won't really generate the results that you want, because you're so focused on the future. So keep that in mind. Whenever you're creating content, look at the ones that you currently have and the ones that you were basically trusted with, and show up for them. They might not be thousands and thousands and thousands, but they're the few that are actually interacting and that are actually listening right now. Yes, you'll lose some followers along the way, but you'll gain, like, I'm praying that everyone, like, for every 2 followers that you use, you gain 7 back. But the way that the secret sauce to that is just to keep showing up for the ones that you currently have. Don't get discouraged because, you know, 2 of your friends from high school that you probably don't even know anymore or talk to, that they unfollowed you because they're not interested in your stuff. That doesn't matter. Keep creating for the ones that you currently have, and naturally, you'll see natural growth. Focus on being a micro influencer. Don't focus on the major, focus on the micro, which is what you have, and you will see that those 5 that were trusting in you, 4 will probably sign up with you. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to share with you guys real stories, real results that bring you real followers. Is everyone with me? I see a lot of movement in the chat, which I love. Yay! Okay, so giveaways. I actually don't see too many giveaways happening, and giveaways are amazing. I have a friend that they're a husband and wife photography company, and they're like, Val, we're super frustrated because we can't get fast growth, and we need fast growth. I feel like people don't follow me and they don't like my content, and they were talking to me how discouraged they were. And I'm like, hey, have you ever thought of giving away a free session? Think about it. It's just 90 minutes of your time and give away stuff. Guys, I literally have sitting on my desk hairspray bottles that I haven't finished. I have shampoo bottles that weren't really for my hair, but they came in my first package. I have, you know, I think I have like a mascara, like the mascara, what's it called? The Lash and Brow Enhancing Serum. And I have it just laying around my house, and I never actually opened it. I never used it because someone else, or in another sale, was like I ended up getting 2. And invest in giveaways. If you guys give a taste to somebody and you're like, okay, like here's have you ever wondered to try free MONAT products? I'm doing a giveaway with this person, and you collab with somebody. Giveaways, guys, get out there. No te cuesta. Invest in your stuff. What does it cost? Maybe $50, $100, but you'll probably generate, if you give away $100 to $200 worth of free MONAT products to somebody, you'll get a bunch of people tagging their friends and stuff like that and sharing through their stories. You come up with the special instructions, and boom. Now, try to partner with someone that has a huge amount of followers. My friend that she partnered with a bride that she had, and she has 1 million followers. Okay, we don't all have a friend that has 1 million followers, and I get that, but we all have friends that have some kind of followers. And her account, guys, in 3 days grew 3,000 followers. She was at 1,000, and then she hit 4,000. That is crazy. Yes, it does have to do with the fact that the person that she collabed with does have a lot of followers, but collab with each other, keep doing giveaways. People love that. I challenge you guys to do a giveaway every single month and build from there. You can do a giveaway with 2 to 3 people, and the gifts can even be greater. Yes, I definitely suggest that. Maybe the content was not very pretty, or okay, I did one and I got 25% of usual likes and comments. Oh yeah, maybe it was that. Okay, moving on. Vlogs and Pinterest, guys. I know you guys are focused on Instagram, but you'll see how when you use an audience that maybe you're generating from Pinterest, or maybe a blog or a vlog or even TikTok, you can use that audience that you're growing and bring them to Instagram and introduce them to what you're doing. So don't only use all your pearls that you have on one platform. Bring them into other stuff, and I promise you it will bring real results and real followers again. Now, value, and we're going to talk about value right now. I'm going to show you guys different types of I broke down value into 5 different types of categories for content ideas. Alrighty, posting with purpose. It's about being intentional. I know that we all have great intentions and stuff, but don't just post and wing it and then there was no strategy behind it. You guys are probably missing out on opportunities. So even if you're posting a personal, like a selfie or a picture with your dog or drinking some coffee, make sure that you're being intentional with every single post that you are doing. So, oh man, who's writing on the PowerPoint? I think it's funny. So, be intentional about your stuff. If you shift the way that you think about the platform, you'll see a shift in your engagement. Very important, guys. A lot of people get frustrated with social media, or they think that that's the only way that you can sell. There's real people on the other end that just want to have conversations with you, that want to see what you're up to, that want to learn tips and tricks about beauty. If you change the way that you look at it as more as a platform to help others and be the solution for a lot of people, then you'll start seeing that if you change the approach, you'll start seeing your engagement spike up. Moving on, what is engagement? A lot of people, the reason why I don't have saves on here, and I know someone mentioned saves, is because I noticed that a lot of people save by mistake. So I don't really measure that as something like as a valuable engagement, but I rank these from top to bottom. Shares are the biggest way to grow your engagement. So you want to create content that's shareable, that's not too like focused on one post, but you want to make sure that when you're creating content that it's also shareable. Like, oh my, like I can go on your page and be like, oh, look at this cool tip, or look at this quote that this person posted. Amen to this. So you want to create content that in your slots of value that it's shareable. Also, you want to look at your comments. Wait, going back to shares really quick, I missed something. Have you noticed that meme accounts are private now? You want to know why? Even in their posts, their main goal is to get shared. And the reason why, I'm not saying to make your account private at all, but meme accounts, their strategy is to create content that gets shared onto other people so they can keep growing their following. So take a note of that. Comments. You want your captions to trigger comments. Why? Because that's, again, those are the real followers that are engaging with you. You want to focus, pro tip, you want to focus on growing quality followers, not quantity followers. And with comments and people that are talking to you through DM and interacting with you with writing down or even reacting to your stories, that's all great engagement. And these are your quality followers, not quantity. Again, so focus on your comments and respond back to your comments. Engage back and interact with people. Don't just post and ghost. Don't ghost on your people that are engaging with you. You want to make sure that when you're engaging with them, it's like, okay, they comment like, oh, you look so pretty in this photo. Thank you so much. Don't just like a comment, be like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Respond back to everybody. Maybe just because they're not asking for more information for a sale, or they're not like, oh, I want to know more about these products, you want to engage with them still. So moving forward, story interactions. So there's different types of story interactions. There's this when you swipe up and you see a reaction to somebody's story, and then there's okay, so there's different types of story interactions. So there's obviously the ones that you react to stories, but you want to make sure that your story interactions are set up correctly. When you look at your settings on stories, I'm going to open mine really quick. Everyone go and open up their stories on Instagram. If you can, look where it says up top. Hold on. When you go to your stories, as if you were about to take a story, on the top left corner, there's a little gear icon. And there's one that says allow message replies. Make sure that your message replies are set. Why? Because future customers, if most of your posts are on stories, future customers will interact with you right there. Then make sure it's on everyone, not just people you follow, and make sure that they're definitely not off. Then on the bottom section, there's something called sharing. Allow resharing to stories, guys. Why? It's not because people are like, oh my god, look, her hair is messed up. No one's gonna do that, and if they do, oh well. But don't even focus on that. You want to make sure that that button is on, because that means that people will possibly share your stories with a friend and tell them, oh, look at their transformation, look at this before and after, look at this meme, look at this quote. You want to make sure that that option is on. Then allow sharing as a message, and allow share your story to Facebook. Guys, take advantage of that button, because you can, like when you post on, if you automate your story shares to Facebook as well, then you don't have to go on a separate platform to upload. You just kill two birds with one stone. All right. Wait, can you repeat that? I don't know how you got there. Okay, so I got there by, I opened up my page to my regular newsfeed. I clicked the top left corner, and to the left, there's the gear icon, the flash, and the X. Click on the gear icon, and then you'll see the story controls right there. I hope that answered your question, Jackie. So again, focus on becoming a micro influencer. This is more value. It's effective and brings real results. I don't know why when I click to share on Facebook, it doesn't do anything. It's probably because it's not set up correctly. So if you go into your Instagram settings, make sure that number one, that you're set up as a business page. If you go to your profile, there's three lines up top. You go to settings, and then you click on, I think it's account, and then you click on linked accounts. And after you click linked accounts, you make sure that it's connected to Facebook automatically. On the bottom of your story, the three dots go to your story settings. Okay, cool. So yeah, again, guys, focus on becoming a micro influencer and be real. I know that a lot of times people focus on selling just their success stories, but they don't focus on selling their real struggles. Your struggles and your story on how you got to success, or how you're on your way there, or the challenges that you've been facing in life, maybe your challenge with quarantine and everything that's happening. You want to make sure that you share that stuff. Be vulnerable. People love the humanity, and they don't like connecting with, fake success. They want to connect with a real person that's on the other end. So be vulnerable, be personal, and be social. Interact with other people. Don't just expect people to interact with you. If you interact with them first, that's actually a bonus. So keep in mind that. And lastly, be unique. I get it. If you, for example, I go to a church, ERJ, right? And I love it, but the market is very saturated. How am I going to stand out amongst the community of my fellow market partners that are next to me? How can we create, all of us, different types of unique content for people to fall in love with the brand of MONAT? So think of that. How can you be unique? Next thing, content planning. There are dreamers, and then there's planners. Planners actually bring their dreams to life. If you guys don't have a plan, I have no idea how you're gonna get there, because a plan helps you have a clear vision, clear goals, and it says, okay, if my plan is becoming a market mentor, or maybe I don't know all the ranks by memory, but a future SED, make short-term goals in your plan, and how can you connect it on social media? So you want to make sure that when you're doing it, you're building a plan that has a clear vision and clear goals. Next point, frequency of posting. Now, a lot of people ask me, Val, how often should I post? This is what I personally suggest. There is an algorithm that we are fighting against. Let's talk about the algorithm really quick. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Come on, that's good. So now keep this in mind. An algorithm, Instagram and Facebook, they have a literal psychology department that focuses on having you addicted to the app. In a nicer way, they focus on having their consumers and the people that they're consumers on the platform for the longest time possible. They have an entire department of psychology focusing on this. It's crazy. So this is different. Keeping keeping up with the algorithm is basically bots that study your human behavior. It studies how users are engaging and what type of content they like. That's why you have constantly people like, there's a joke of the FBI agent on your phone that sends you ads. They're constantly listening. Yes, they are. But your followers are also constantly looking for new stuff to get entertained with, especially with everything that's happening around the world with a global pandemic. Now is the time that they're mostly on social media. So how are you going to keep up with the algorithm and make sure that people see your posts? Did you know that according to latest research, right now your Instagram posts, stories, and posts are only being shown to 16% of your audience minimum? That is crazy, guys, and probably less if you're not generating that much engagement. That's why engagement is so important. Only 16%. That is crazy. So keep an eye out for that, and how you can increase that percentage is simply by, again, focusing on engagement. So this is what I personally suggest. Stories 10 to 15 a day or less. Why do I say or less? You don't want people to see a bunch of time. If you look at your stories and you see that there's a bunch of dots and you yourself, you're reviewing them and there's so many, people are just gonna click through and they're probably interested in what you have to say, but they're just like, oh no, I'm not even gonna, so they'll probably click through to see when you get to the point, or swipe left and keep going to the next story, or even exit. When people are exiting, Instagram already reads that, okay, they're not interested in this person that they're following. We're doing a bad job at keeping them engaged with the app. So you want to make sure that you are posting, but not overwhelming your stories. Now, it doesn't mean to stop posting at all. Use IGTV instead if you want to talk for a longer period of time. Stories is more to get like people like, hey, I'm here, you're showing up, but then lead them somewhere. Lead them to either go look at a post or to interact with the sale, but get to the point. That is my pro tip. So take it to IGTV. IGTV doesn't even have a limit anymore with how long you upload videos, so go ahead and take advantage of that tool. You might be saying, oh, Val, I don't know how I feel about IGTV, like sales expire. Upload it, and then if it's a sale, upload it and take it down. But if you focus more again on the value instead of the promotion of the current sale, the caption can be promoting what the sale is about. But if you're recording an IGTV about a product and maybe giving it a review or sharing like how it works and DIYs, how to try it at home, maybe your routine and stuff, you can feature on your IG and even do series. On IGTV, you can create a series for skincare, one for hair, one for styling. You can create different types of series, even for personal. So also, guys, you don't want your Instagram and your Facebook to be only about MONAT. You want to keep it like diverse and make sure that, again, it's your personal, so people want to connect with you. Now, this is what I suggest if you're the type of person you're like, wow, I don't know, I don't post so much. Guys, post more. Don't be discouraged and don't overthink it. Post, again, I suggest 2 to 3 times a week. This is just my suggestion. If you can do more, great. If you can only maybe, like, if you're used to not posting at all, post at least once a week. That will create engagement. And again, if you sell mostly on stories and that's where you feature yourself the most, talking about the business, then you have to add some kind of movement to your actual feed. So moving forward. Alrighty, moving forward. Strategy plus creativity equals effectiveness. You want to be strategic about your posts. It's not only about just posting. Oh, I'm just gonna post, my bedtime routine. If there's no strategy with it, don't post it. Try to be strategic and as creative as possible. So this is how I personally plan my stuff for my pages and for my clients' pages. I manage a lot of people's social media accounts, and this is the best way to get everything out there and to not wing it, in other words. So again, keep in mind, we don't know what sales are coming up every single week. We kind of wait for an email or for our uplines to let us know when there's like a sale coming up. So keep in mind, try to study, okay, I know that once a week they're gonna have some kind of sale. And then if it's special for market partners, I'm gonna add it to my plan. So number one, have a clear vision and your goals. Number two, when you're writing your calendar, this is what I personally do. I open up Google Calendar or I print out a calendar and I just get a wide bird's eye view for what's coming up in the month. So I start saying, okay, what's my vision? What's my goals? I refresh myself. And then I ask myself, what am I up to? Are there any future events that I'm attending? What's happening around me? Is there a specific launch that I know about? Is there a specific campaign that I should be running? So I start asking myself these questions when I'm planning. So I start putting in slots on a calendar. I'm like, okay, I know that here I have to promote. Here I have to, I don't know, here I'm going to share a personal story about me. Here I'm going to share a micro blog, which is basically like sharing a mini story, but a really long caption. So you want to think about that and add your slots in. Then you want to look around what's happening around you. Guys, yesterday was Earth Day. And on Google, you can get a national days calendar, or maybe get like international days calendar. Like for example, if it's International Coffee Day, you can post a picture with coffee and be personal and be human, and not so salesy. So try to keep that balance. So those days and events, holidays, social events, those, well, obviously right now we don't have so many social events, but there's holidays, Mother's Day is coming up, write that in your plan. Number 4, your content pool. And I'm going to talk in the next slide about your content pool, but thinking about different types of content and plugging them into your calendar is so important. I'm going to challenge you guys after today's training, try to plan your content for the next week. If it's a sale, put like, okay, sale slot. I'm going to put promote whatever sale is currently happening on Tuesday on a post, Wednesday on stories, Thursday on IG stories, and then Friday I'm going to take a break. But how you do it can vary in so many ways. So I'm going to show you guys different types of content pools. Number 5, mark the spot on the calendar. Number 6, go out and create the content. Don't create the content first and then go and put it in your calendar. Why? You want to be effective in all of this, and you want to be creative. So this is what I suggest for Mother's Day. You can start looking for a picture, or the day of, you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to go look for a picture to post for Earth Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day that's coming up. But if you already have it in your plan, you can take a professional picture with a camera, or maybe stage a shoot to make your page look cleaner and nicer. You can maybe plan your outfit for a specific, since you know that post is coming up, you plan an outfit or a look for that specific day with your mom or with Earth Day and stuff like that. So you want to take advantage. Number 7, you schedule your content and you automate it. You can use different apps like Planoly, Hootsuite, or other apps. Planoly is an app for your iPhone. I think it's available on Android. And then Hootsuite is available on your desktop and on an app. And it's where you can schedule certain posts, for stories as well, for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth. It also gives you really deep insights. Next, I'm going to give you guys 5 categories for content pool ideas. So give me 1 second. I'm going to drink some water. Okay, so let's talk about the 5. What are the apps again? I'm going to share with you guys all my apps. Oh, sorry, the scheduling one. Personally, I like Google Calendar and to post myself. And I write the captions in advance. And then, if not, Planoly. So I'll be sending you guys this PowerPoint as well, so you guys don't have to, just in case you miss out on information. So again, content pool ideas. So there's 5 different categories that I suggest when you're thinking of content and when you're planning. Guys, why is it so important to plan again? It's because if you plan, you bring the dream alive. So entertaining. These are just some ideas. If you want, write them down or take a note of it later. So entertaining. Fun holidays, memes, national days, contests and giveaways, viral videos. Maybe a joke. Maybe you have a throwback Thursday or flashback Friday or way back Wednesday that you want to feature. Those are all entertaining types of content. Again, they don't only have to circle around MONAT, but you can use that content for like anything personal. If you can't really think of personal content to post, these are great. Number 2, inspirational. We all know that this company, that one of their main goals is to empower people and feel confident in their skin, hair, and how they feel inside and outside. So you want to inspire them, and you like quotes are a great way to create engagement and create interaction with your followers. Now, back to inspiration. Amazing facts. If you have any facts or any type of trivia, you can interact with polls and quizzes. All that stuff is great content for inspiration. Using beautiful images, like you can use a picture of yourself drinking coffee, and then your caption can be something like encouraging and hopeful, and sharing your story or your success story. Like I love how Tay the other day, she shared her road to becoming like a market mentor, and I was like, yes, this is awesome, I love that. So inspiration, and I'm pretty sure that she saw great results, and people were like, wow, like that was your story. I feel like I couldn't maybe relate to you. So using your story will inspire others, and this will generate sales, guys, and it will generate people to fall in love with your brand and your business. Number 3, educational. So now this is very important. People don't understand why the products maybe cost a little bit too much money. So educate them, show them tips and tricks how to use the stuff. Answer frequently asked questions. You already know what the questions are. You know what questions are coming up. You know what's happening. Not what's happening, but you know what people usually, are doubtful about. So go ahead and answer them. Take time to answer them, maybe on an IGTV, or ask people, hey, I'm doing a Q&A about life. I'm gonna record it. Go and educate them. Even about if you do anything else besides MONAT, I know some people have other businesses as well, which that's amazing. These are tips also for your businesses. So another thing is doing like industry research. People love being educated. Like I love seeing that video that's like a candle, and it's like drugstore dry shampoo versus like MONAT's dry shampoo, and it's like you can see how like it reacts with fire, and that is happening to people's hair, and they don't know that. So go and educate people. They just released a new product, guys, the makeup vanishing balm. That's amazing. Go and do it yourself and record it. And the reason why I suggest doing that on IGTV, not stories, is because it lives longer on your page and it becomes evergreen content. Meaning 3 months down the road, let's say someone's scrolling through IGTV and they see your recent video, they start watching other videos. It works like YouTube. Also, don't be scared of going on YouTube. This is not only for Instagram. So moving forward. Free resources that you have on, like, for example, ideas for free resources would be if you want to educate people on proper skincare and use like doing your daily routine or your nightly routine. People love seeing that. That's educational types of content. And even live video training. Let's say you get on a call, and instead on Zoom and keeping it private between your team, maybe you and your team can all jump on an IG live with your upline, and then do like a Q&A and open it up to people, to everybody, Obviously don't get too technical, so be careful with that part. Number 4, conversational type of content. This is content that generates questions. Maybe you want to do a fill in the blank, like, what's my Monday mood? And, sorry, I'm reading the chat. For planning, Planoly, Hootsuite, Google Calendar. Yes, those are the ones that I suggest. Again, there's other apps out there. Those are just the ones that I personally use that I've had the best experience with. So fill in the blank. You can ask a question like, what's your Monday mood? And post an actual picture on your feed. Guys, don't only post on stories. I see a lot of people that try to find a balance, post on stories, but also post on your feed. Don't be scared of that. Alrighty, ask for advice, guys. You can ask hey, for personal content, I wouldn't do this for specifically MONAT content, but ask for advice. Hey, I'm buying I'm painting my room. What color should I paint it? And ask people to vote. Or do you guys suggest any Netflix shows? And that type of content generates engagement. You could also post like a funny picture and do caption this. That's another cool idea for conversational. Number 5, connection. You want to show behind the scenes, a little bit of insight of what you do and how you do it. You want to show like product previews. So if there's something coming up, you know, you want to kind of like tease it. I know the company does a great job of like teasing stuff like, hey, we're coming up with like a new trip or a new product. Like, so try to tease it a little bit, give it a little bit, maybe share a review. Or even share your uplines or your directors, like they get the product before everyone else, so you can like show a little like sneak peek, or hey, this is what it looks like, I'm gonna get it, you should get it too. And then lastly, do reposts, interact with other accounts. If you feature other user generated content on your pages, that's also great as well. So don't forget that there's many tools on Instagram and Facebook that you can use that are on the table. There's IGTV, IG Live, polls, countdowns, quizzes, filters. Don't forget, like there's so many cool filters. Like right now the trending one is gibberish. But there's some like with couples and interactive filters. Use them. You might ask yourself, oh wow, how do I find those pretty filters for Instagram to make my posts and my stories look pretty? Just go on. What I did in the very beginning, when I didn't know who to follow for MONAT, I started following my directors, and like they do such a great job at finding like the latest filters. And you can just click on the actual filter and click try it, save it, or browse other effects. Go ahead and try it. If you like how it looks on your skin tones, or if it matches your aesthetic, go ahead and save it. So that's how I suggest to get filters. There's also the new feature on Instagram for DM quick replies. So you can pre-write like when someone asks like, oh, I'm interested in the products, how can I get more information? You're like, okay, here's my hair quiz. You can pre-write all that content already using the Instagram app to use that. So now that's a new feature. It's available for businesses. Facebook, again, live stream. You can do events, notes, blog. Basically, that's like if you feel more comfortable in writing blogs, you can feature them on Facebook instead of a website. You can share more. You can do shareable content. You can do watch parties, polls, and even check into locations. How can we do that? Okay, so let me see if I can join with my phone. Okay. I'm gonna join in Zoom through my phone and share my screen there. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm joining the call now with my phone. Let me make sure to mute here. Stop sharing. Share screen. Alrighty guys, can everyone hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh. Okay. Perfect.
Yes, we can.
Oh. Alright, I'm trying to get it so you guys can not hear me double. There you go. Alrighty, much better. So if you go over here to the top, you go to get started. Over here, it gives you the option So I'm gonna go back to my DMs. You go over here to the top corner, right here where the little, next to the video, you go right there, and then, oh, it disappeared on me. There you go. Get started. So, new quick reply. Respond instantly. Again, this is because my page is set up as a business page. So you go to shortcut. I'm gonna call this hair quiz. And this is my message. So, hi, hey, thanks. You want to make sure that you're friendly and approachable. And you can write, I want to send you and then you start asking the questions. So it doesn't come out for you. Okay, that's weird. It only works if we have our account under business setting correct. Yes, correct. So then you click save, and then you keep adding the rest. So let's say someone responds back to me, like Isa. Quick replies, and I click send, boom. Ignore the question, but yeah, that's how you see it. Okay, jumping back over here. All right, let me exit here, the Zoom call. And can everyone hear me and see my screen? Just say yes. Okay, perfect. Check your DM, click the bubble, and it comes out perfect. So, content creations and how to do it. So, very, very simple and easy steps that I'm about to show you guys. Photography 101. So everyone's like, Val, how can I take pretty pictures? I am not a professional photographer. I am struggling. I need your help. And these are my major keys. So equipment. You don't need a professional camera, but if you do have one, go and search up for the best DSLRs. A DSLR is like a professional camera that has interchangeable lenses, or a point and shoot camera that's way smaller, compact. I'm gonna show you guys what a point and shoot looks like. I'm gonna show you guys DSLR. And they range in prices, guys. They go from like $1,000 to like way more. But this is what a DSLR looks like. It's one of those professional cameras. And then this is what a point and shoot looks like. I personally recommend this one. It's a little camera. It's like about 600 bucks. It's Canon, and it's mostly for like vlogging, and you have like that upwards flipping mirror. Like this, that you can see yourself and record yourself. So if you want a camera, you don't need a camera though for what I'm gonna teach you today. But if you want a camera to like maybe like improve the quality of your like IGTVs or your posts or whatever, maybe a YouTube video, and you want to become like a vlogger, I definitely suggest investing in one of those. Now, option 2 is your iPhone. Sorry, Android. I'm not a fan of Android, but of course, you can still use your phone because Androids have great camera quality. So, composition is the major key in taking a photo. Composition and lighting. But let's talk first about composition. So, did you know that on your phone, if you open up your camera in your settings, if you go to camera settings, I'm speaking iPhone, you go to you scroll all the way to the bottom in your camera settings, and there's the option to turn on the grid. So if you click on your settings, like on all your settings for your iPhone, you scroll all the way down to camera and you click on grid, make sure that is on. So if you're with me, you will see these 9 squares on your picture, and that is what's called rules of thirds. So I have right here this little guy. This is Val, the smiley face, and I'm going to show you guys how rules of thirds matter for your pictures. So if you're taking pictures, guys, your headspace is very important. So I'm going to shrink it. I'm going to try to, if you are the subject of your photo, center yourself in an image. If you want people to look at your face and that's the goal in that photo, go ahead and center yourself in the image. Now, this up here is your highs, then here's your mids, then here's your lows, a little bit of technical term. Then here's your left third, then your right third, and your center third. So you're gonna make sure that you position yourself right in the middle, and if you wanna show a little bit more of your body, here would go. One of the biggest problems that I see when people are recording themselves on video is that they don't give themselves proper headspace. So they put themselves all the way down here and you have all this white area that creates a distraction zone when you're recording, when you are taking your pictures or like posting. It creates a lot of distraction and they'll probably look at something else besides your face. Another idea is if you are posting, let's say, a travel photo, put yourself over here off to a corner so people can see. If you want people to see your background or where you are at, put yourself over here, or maybe standing, put yourself more towards the bottom, but not too awkward headspace as down here, but put yourselves kind of around this area and people can see over here. If you are posing with another person, I'm gonna copy and paste this. Let's say it's your hubby or your boyfriend or a friend or somebody else, anybody else. This is how you guys should position yourselves off in the middle. Now, be careful because when you jump to Instagram, on your feed, it's only gonna post the square on your feed. So you wanna make sure that if you are posing in the center of your camera, not off to the side, because our phones take pictures with showing landscape mode. And I'll talk about now the different dimensions. So you don't wanna be over here and over here, that your picture is gonna get cut off in your feed and it's gonna look awkward. So keep that in mind. So now, if you want to be, again, intentional about the way that you capture a photo, you want it to convey a certain type of feeling or vibe. So I'm going to go over here to Instagram really quick, .com, and I'm going to show you guys a visual sample. Okay, I'm just going to continue as not now. You guys all know Joel. She's like the top director in the company right now, which is awesome. And I'm going to show you guys her feed because it's the easiest one for me to show. So her idea with her post is to like show some sort of empowerment, or if you want to show some kind of like look at the success, you can have this too, or talking about like a certain victory or travel, and you want to seem some kind of like successful type of person and portray that. You want to Fun fact, Hillary Clinton in her campaign, all her videos and the type of photography that she had was all angled from below. So I'm going to show you guys. When you're taking pictures, guys, you can ask your hubby, your daughter, your son, anybody, whoever you're with, if you want them to help you out with the pictures. Sorry guys, I'm also recording this and I have to fix the lighting on my camera. So you want to make sure that that you have them like kind of like hunch down a little bit and look and point the camera towards up, not too much at the bottom, somewhere where it's a little flattering. Be aware of how your chin and your face looks. You don't want it to look awkward either. And these are just some examples of her posts. Again, another one that's very angled down. She is talking about how she is in Hawaii and she shares a certain quote, and this is what you call a microblog. And over here you have all this space because she really wants to show that she's traveling, and it's a lower angle, so it's kind of giving the vibes like, look, this is a success that you can have too. So angling down your photos will always make it look more professional, and it will give that vibe of being successful. So that's why composition is super important. Moving forward, there's 4 different types of dimensions that you have in your photos. So This is called landscape. This is what you would call for like a post or maybe like an IGTV video or a YouTube video. It's the horizontal type of composition or frame, you would call it. And then this is square. This is for also Instagram posts. But you have to be careful with this because if you want to use your picture anywhere else, it's a little bit harder to use. Then you have portrait. Sorry, I'm going to move little smiley face down. Portrait is like this. The reason why I suggest portrait for actual posts on your feed is because when you are scrolling through Instagram and your post appears on someone's newsfeed, it consumes more real estate in someone's feed. So you're not competing with like the next post that's, you know, coming up or the one that they just finished seeing. So it's like you kind of like take up more space on their phone. So when you're actually posting on your feed, I definitely suggest to post in portrait. But if you have like a landscape photo, don't go ahead and like post portrait because you can't really see the background. So depends on what you want to do, but be strategic about it. Square is also very nice because that is how it's going to look on your actual page. And then last but not least is vertical and story. Now guys, if you guys are shooting stories, but this is going to end up being like potentially a post or something, keep that in mind. However, a lot of the times if you're shooting vertical, you can use that that story post on your actual feed as a portrait. So that's something to keep in mind. Have I lost you guys? Are you guys still with me? Now, if you post a quote or a graphic, I see this mistake very often. Let's say you screenshot the email that you got from the company, or you screenshot a certain quote or something that you want to repost, or you created yourself maybe. I definitely suggest when you create them, always create them in square, so when they come up in your feed on Instagram and Facebook, that it looks very clean and nice, that it's all in the frame. If not, it's going to look out of frame. I'm going to show you guys an example of something that happened to me. On my page, I announced my niece being born. And I took the picture with my camera, and it ended up being vertical. And when I posted on my page, I didn't think that it would get cut off. I posted in portrait, but I didn't think that her head would get cut off. So it looked super awkward on my page, and I don't want to take the post down because I don't think it's necessary. And I didn't notice, I think, until like a day after, because back then I wasn't really paying attention to my engagement. But keep that in mind. You don't want your graphics or your images to be cut off. So you want to make sure that you have proper headspace over here, proper headspace. Again, this was a landscape photo, so the whole idea was for you to see the landscape. But there's a little bit too much awkward space. I would have stepped in a little bit closer. That was in Greece. Lots of fun. Again, remember when I was talking about like creating success in an image? I take grad photos, and over here, I want to show that she was like successful and like, you know, walking in a new path or a new direction. So I shot that picture and I took it from a bottom angle, not so much from the top. Another great thing is being eye level and making sure that you have clean backgrounds. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my secret tips on how to keep your page super clean. There are a lot of questions that I get. It's, Val, how the heck do I make a clean Instagram? Should I delete all my pictures? No. Don't delete all your pictures or all your posts that you already have to try to make it clean. Because you want to show the success story, right? So show how your Instagram used to look and then slowly start building it with the aesthetic that you want. Don't take down your posts, guys. Keep them there. Share, like, because you're like, sometimes there are sentimental moments or emotional moments or great accomplishments, so keep them there. Don't stress it out too much about how your page looks. Just, you know, keep an eye out for the upcoming posts. So
Where's Nova?
okay, so how to make your photos look professional. This is my secret weapon. I make sure that all my pictures that I actually post on my feed are shot in daytime. Again, it creates a cohesive image, and if I shoot nighttime, it starts looking out of place. So that's my pro tip. Make sure that when you post that all your pictures look bright and airy, that they look hopeful, that they look inspiring, and that they look clean. Shooting in daytime also provides, like, you don't have like a grainy image, or maybe like too dark image. Now, if your images are mostly dark and moody and you have like that style, which is my favorite, you want to make sure that like they stay consistent. So find a style that you want and stick to it. Marry it, stick to it. Try to, again, keep that rule like in your mind. Shoot in daytime with the best lighting possible. Now, if you have a window and you want to take a portrait and you don't necessarily have a professional light or a ring light to take pictures with, stand by a window, not too bright. I would, not your balcony, but more like a small window that creates like a nice, don't shoot in the middle of the day, but I would say when it's like kind of cloudy outside, and that is the best type of lighting to shoot in. Always have a light in your face, guys. A lot of times we take pictures of maybe like a beautiful sunset in the back, or like the background's way too bright and then your face gets super dark. No matter what, try to make sure that your light on your face is even and that you don't have shadows. If you're taking a picture with a hat, try your best to like maybe lift your chin up just a tad, that your posture is good, and make sure that you don't have shadows on your face covering you. Moving on, product shoots. A lot of times I get the questions, Val, how do you like post clean product shoots? This is my secret. I go to the dollar store and I buy a poster or Staples or whatever, well, or order one on Amazon now. Make sure that it has 0 wrinkles and that you take care of it. Invest in a white or light colored pastel background. I suggest maybe like a light purple or light pink and white, maybe a nude, because it matches with the products of MONAT and their brand. So use that and it creates like an infinite background, and you just position all the products correctly and take pictures of it and later edit. If you don't necessarily have that, find any type of white or clean background, simple, maybe a solid color, so your products can, so there's not like a distraction zone. So those are my pro tips. And let me tell you something, bed sheets work too. I have white bed sheets, so what I do is I lay down all my like products and I position them in a way that it looks very nice and like clean. And then I make sure, of course, that I'm shooting in daytime and that I have natural lighting. I don't use flash. I like using natural lighting for my images because it creates a nice balance and flat style. Now, I also add possibly like maybe like a bow or a scarf or some type of pop of color to the product so it can look very aesthetically pleasing. Don't wait for the company to share like their product photos. Be creative. You want to stand out. It's a very saturated market. Be creative with your with the types of pictures that you take. So that's what I suggest, using accessories. Now, these are my top recommended 3 apps that I use. Number 1 is Lightroom. If you're not that great of an editor, and you don't feel too confident in like, professional editing, go ahead and buy a preset. Now keep in mind, when you buy presets, don't be discouraged if your photos, when you're taking them and you apply the preset, if they look super whack. The reason why is look at the way that the presets were being used before you buy them. If I have this problem a lot, I buy maybe like a warm preset with like warm tones and very vibrant colors, but I apply it to a picture that's indoors or maybe doesn't have colors at all, and the picture looks very weird. So make sure to keep that in mind. Lightroom is amazing, super easy, but I definitely suggest to have a preset or make one and then go ahead and customize it and copy and paste it to every single type of content, so you have that consistency and that your page builds that aesthetic that you're trying to portray. VSCO is also great. If you don't have Lightroom, VSCO is also great. Now I'm going to share with you guys my new favorite, which actually Tay recommended to me, and Bianca always talks about it. I definitely recommend Teza or Teza, however you want to pronounce it. I love the style that it has. It's very girly colors. I personally changed to that app. However, edit the pictures in a way that you don't just like paste a random filter. You have to make sure that you edit it first before you, and basically correct the image as best as possible before you lay down a filter. Maybe you shot a little too bright, so when you paste a filter, it looks really bright and scary. So you want to make sure that when you're looking at it, that it doesn't look weird. So these are my basic tips of how to edit. I'm gonna call in one more time, and I'm gonna do a quick edit with you guys on Tiza. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna mute myself again on my phone. Make sure the volume's all the way down and share my screen. So, alrighty, so I'm gonna go to Tiza or Teza, and right here I have some pictures that I've taken. I'm gonna clear and edit really quick. When you're editing, make sure that your brightness is all the way up so you can see all the true colors. So this is a picture that I took with my phone. I have other pictures that I've taken with a professional camera. So when you open up the app, the first thing that you want to do is hold on, let me go back to my PowerPoint. Adjust the exposure and brightness. So let's say my picture was too dark and I shot it maybe a little bit too dark, and I want to bring up the brightness. Make sure you bring up the brightness enough that it looks good with the filter. So I just corrected first the exposure or brightness. Then I'm gonna look at the contrast. It's a little too flat, so I'm gonna add just like 2 points of contrast. What is contrast? Contrast basically means that you differentiate your bright tones of your image and your dark tones. Then you want to look at your shadows and your highlights. A lot of times our pictures might be maybe like the whites are too bright in our image and they look really weird. So I always dim them down a little bit because the filters anyways bring up the highlights. Then I'm gonna go ahead and check my shadows. This image doesn't have crazy shadows, so I'm just gonna bring them up a little bit because I want to brighten up the picture. So I'm gonna bring it up like 17. Then after that, I want to play with the colors and add a filter. So right now I have no filters on, and these are different filters that Tiza has. So this is one of them. I don't like how it looked full, so I'm gonna bring it down to like a 36%, and already my image, you can start telling a big difference. This one makes my skin a little bit darker. I really like the mood one. I think it's very edgy, but again guys, you want to stick to a filter. You don't want to like, you know, mess around with it too much. Inspo is very nice when you're outdoors. It doesn't really work too much for this picture. And you keep scrolling through. I personally like Glow and Indo and Blush. Those are my like top ones, but these are some other ones. You see how nice they are. And yeah, so for this picture I'm gonna probably use like something like Glow because I like how the oranges pop. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. Now that I applied the filter, I am gonna bring the brightness down because I think it's a little bit too bright for my taste. And then you have something called HSL and grain. So temperature, let's say I want to change the temperature of my picture. I'm just gonna make it down -3. And then HSL means hue, saturation, and luminance. So I'm gonna pick a color. I think my skin is a little bit too orange. A little bit too red, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more natural. You can mess around with the saturation of the yellows. You can see like how it affects it there. I'm gonna bring it up 4 points. And then the oranges, again, it affects most of your skin tones. And in that day, I was wearing like an orange yellowish shirt. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. And this is luminance. It makes everything darker or lighter. I'm gonna make myself a little bit, just a skosh bit darker. You guys start seeing the difference in my image. Now, that's for me, my personal brand. I desaturate the blues a lot. That's just me, so that's what I want to do to this picture. And then you can add the trendy dust effects and grain, which is always really cool. I'm gonna click none. And then for video, you can add the little stop motion effect. Now I'm gonna show you guys, this is my niece. I'm gonna completely clear the edits. Clear edits and then clear effects. So this is the original video. I shot it on iPhone. Isn't she so cute? Oh wait, I'm not seeing the chat, so. Let me open up the chat. So, dude, I paid for Lightroom presents and never figured it out. Okay, so this is my niece. I'm gonna start laying over different filters. Again, I like glow because I'm trying to stick to it. A similar filter to that one that kind of brings it darker is Indo. So I'm gonna use Indo for this one. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. I'm gonna bring up the exposure just a tad as well. So I'm gonna use the shadows first. And then my picture's completely corrected of how I want it. Now I want to maybe play with the HSL just a tad. Again, I'm going to bring down my blues and maybe play with the saturation. Another thing, guys, that I didn't mention before, let's say for this image, I can click copy edit and then just paste it. But I do have to change it a little bit because I think it's a little too saturated. Saturated means that the colors are too thick. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit as well. Okay. And then my temperature, I'm going to bring it down. Now it matches more of the, can you please send us a PowerPoint and the recorded Zoom video? Of course. Okay, so these are some vintage effects. This is like some grain. However, you see how it makes the picture brighter. So now I have to go back and then bring down the brightness. So I personally love that one, but I'm not too much of a fan of those big dots. So I'm gonna go to specs, I'm gonna bring them down, and I'm gonna bring the size down so it looks a little bit more natural. And then did you know that you can create stop motion and then slow down the speed? So I like that one for that story, and then that's it. I bring it to Instagram, save, and I can apply it to something else. So you just click save and it exports. Okay, that's gonna take a while. So yeah, guys, you can, that's a quick tutorial of how I share my, create my content. So back to this video. Oh, let me end this Zoom call here. Okay. Videos are, apply the same thing as photos like I was showing you guys. Now the only important part of videos is if your audio is not good, then basically your video is not good. So keep an eye out for audio. It's crucial in your videos. Quick do's and don'ts: stabilize your camera. If you're not good at holding your phone with your hand or your professional camera with your hand, make sure that you find like some kind of tripod of some sort and to stabilize your shot. It makes a huge difference, and if not, people won't interact with you as much. How did you make that video of your niece? Normal camera? Yeah, it was on my iPhone. I just held it upside down, and since I had natural lighting, it makes the video look more professional. Okay, so number 2, get to the point in your videos. Again, like if you're talking, you don't want to ramble too much and lose the person watching. So when you're talking to them, make sure that you get to the point and maybe speed up your video. Don't go and wash your entire face in slow motion. Record it on your phone and then upload to stories, but speed it up a little bit. You can do that by editing on InShot or Premiere Rush. I personally love InShot. I found it a long time ago, and I think it's very great and very simple. Anyone can use it. You don't have to be a pro video editor to use it. Moving on, make sure that you frame your video correctly. That goes back to your composition of your video. Don't overthink how your voice sounds. I know, again, we're going to touch the overthinking part. Don't record and delete, record and delete. Record it. If it was a good take, just upload it or edit it and then upload it. And I know it's happened so many times, even to myself, that I record a video and I'm going to post some stories, but then I'm like, you know what, maybe I just shouldn't. So I back out on it and then I lose an opportunity. So don't overthink your videos. Don't cover your mic. I know that sometimes we tend to hold our phones and cover the microphone and the audio gets distorted. You don't want that to happen. And then don't upload without reviewing your videos. This is key for websites, but make sure that you quality check your videos. Another term for that is QCing. You want to review it. If you're adding special effects and stuff, you don't want it to glitch on you before uploading. Now, again, I use Tiza, Visco, or Over to edit the color on my videos. Over, you can add like graphics to your videos and make it like really cool templates. I also edit on InShot some of my videos, and it has really cool templates as well. Mojo is for motion graphics for your stories. Very great and very affordable. And then my personal favorite is also Story Chic. It has very, very clean and nice girly templates that is great for Monet. Well, not so much girly, I mean like clean, simple, and modern. Okay, graphics basics. If you're gonna create your own graphic for Monet, you wanna make sure that your message is clear and that you don't use weird fonts. Fonts that I suggest are fonts like this. This font that I'm using right now is called Arial. Other fonts is, stay away from Comic Sans. There's actually a joke in the graphic design world that if you use Comic Sans, you don't really know what you're doing. So I believe all of you guys know what you're doing, and even if you don't know, you're gonna seem like you do know. So stay away from Comic Sans, but try to use very clean fonts. This is very appealing. If you want to use more like of an edgy font, this is called sans serif. Stay away from like, curvy and funny fonts. If you do use like some type of cursive, make sure it looks good and doesn't look too amateur. So keep an eye out on that. Your fonts are very important. You want to make sure that it's clear and legible. Remember, not everyone on your social media can read perfectly. I have glasses on. I use contacts. I'm not the best at reading because I actually have dyslexia, so I need to see clear graphics. Think about everyone. So fonts are everything. It can actually determine, oh, someone said that. Yes, fonts are everything. So it can actually determine whether or not someone likes your graphic or not, or even reads it. So you want to make sure that it's clean, bold what you need to bold, and then keep at a regular weight size your fonts. So yeah. There's a reason why Facebook ads only allow 20% for a reason. You don't want your fonts and your text to be overpowering. You want it to be more image-based on social media. Then you want to make sure that you are matching your brand, that there's a call to action to everything that you are doing. And then images, you want to make sure that when you're using your image, you can use the stock photos of Monet, or if not, you're taking them. But make sure that they don't look too busy or too distracting, because you're going to be mixing it later with text. Now, moving forward, you can use like different backgrounds and stuff. Like if you go to Unsplash, I'm going to go to Unsplash. This is a free website that actually is incorporated with the app Over. If you look up like minimal, these are great great background images for your graphic that you can even add some pictures of your product on, or even post on your page. You can use you can write the word texture, and that's also great backgrounds to apply in your graphic. So Unsplash is great. There's Shutterstock, that one charges you money, and then Pexels is also free. My top app that I recommend is Over. It has amazing templates for graphics. You guys can check it out. However, you do have to pay for it. Canva is another great option. I believe it also has in-app purchases. And then lastly, if you want to take it to a very, very professional level, which I don't think it's that practical, but Photoshop is also great. I personally like Over and Unfold. Actually, I'm going to add Unfold here. Because of time, I don't want to do one together, but I'm going to be uploading one to my personal Instagram soon. Okay, TikTok is not just a trend, guys. Get on there. Instagram is not the only app. I want to read to you guys really quick an article that I read about TikTok that has really great numbers. According to data from analytics from an analytics site called Sensor Tower, TikTok has hit 1.5 billion total downloads across the App Store and Google Play. It hit 1 billion downloads in February of this year and has ranked in 614 million downloads so far this year. So, guys, TikTok is growing rapidly. So, get on there. Go and do the dances, but get on there and also feed a specific audience. Go and do beauty tips, hair tips, skincare tips. Upload that stuff on TikTok. Even upload your stories on TikTok and do a compilation. So, I'll paste right here the apps. And then for video, okay, so all right, much of TikTok's growth has been driven by an explosion of users in India. Fun fact. But did you know that according to recent research, well, TikTok first started growing with Gen Z, but through recent research, TikTok actually ranked one of the top 3 apps downloaded worldwide behind WhatsApp and Messenger. But it actually came first, like it actually came before Facebook and Instagram. That's crazy. And then essentially because TikTok is the only app in the top 5 that isn't owned on Facebook, this is a perfect time to start on it. If you guys want to gain a following, this is a perfect platform to get on right now. Instagram is really hard to grow on right now because it's been on for a while. A lot of the reasons why you see all these influencers with so many followers is because they've been on the app and uploading content constantly and consistently for a very, very long time. So TikTok is a great opportunity to start. Q&A. I'm opening up the floor for everyone. Start writing questions in the chat. I would love to answer if you have any questions that I have not covered yet or maybe you're confused about. Let's do a quick Q&A. Start writing them in the chat if you do have any. If you don't, thank you. Stay connected with me if you need any advice or tips, or maybe you want to send me like a graphic or something that you made. You can follow me on my Instagram page, and then I upload weekly tips of social media and digital marketing on my socially management place. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna stop sharing and open up the floor if you have any Q&As or anything else. Do you have any suggestions on how to make TikToks? Yes. So I definitely suggest if you don't have ideas for content, you can start off with one of the dance or doing something funny or trendy on the app. That will help out a lot with your page. Sorry, I've seen my face is really dark, so I'm gonna help out with some lighting. Okay. Can you make this PowerPoint in Spanish or even a training in Spanish? My Spanish is not so great, but I'm down to do it if we'll coordinate with Dami. Okay, so what about how to edit TikToks? Okay, so really quick, guys, quick tip, don't edit on TikTok. I actually edit all my videos off of TikTok. I edit the colors on Tiza, and then I edit like compilations of like with music on InShot, and then I upload to TikTok because it's a little bit hard and you can mess up really fast on TikTok. So I record it with my phone on my camera on the phone and then upload to TikTok. So TikToks are so much fun, but dang, it takes work. I know, dude, it's crazy. You start sweating. I started doing a dance and I was like, wow, this is like, I either need to get in shape or these dances are really, really hard. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM. I'm always available. My passion is literally like teaching, so you don't even stress it. Don't be shy. You know, just go there and we'll keep talking there. So
I do have one question. Can I ask you something?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so I have like a normal low amount of followers. I have around 700.
Okay.
My question is this. Am I oversaturating the same audience? Because I'm not growing. Am I oversaturating the same audience with all my stories or all my posts?
I think if you have 700 followers and you're trying to grow, again, keep that balance. I would suggest with your posts, don't only make it about the business. Share your story, share your personal life, share your family, share what you're doing in quarantine, and try to keep that balance because I would definitely say that, yeah, you can be oversaturating your content with that audience. Mm-hmm. Right. Especially since, think about it, you're not competing necessarily with the other market partners in the business. You're actually competing with meme accounts, with other people that are posting great content on pages. You're competing with, with friends and family photos that people engage with mostly, and on your stories, like, again, like, you don't want to make it so many and so frequent that like people just click through or swipe left. So keep an eye out for your insights. Your data and how people are interacting with you will tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. If you see lots of engagement with a specific post, keep doing that, or keep doing that style of post. So that's what I suggest. Any other questions? No? Okay, guys. Alrighty, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much. If you stuck this far through the video, go ahead and subscribe and like this channel. I'm going to be sharing tons of content about my online coaching sessions, and this is a perfect opportunity to get started if you haven't just yet. So if you want more information or you want to stay connected with me, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram page. It's Valentina Garcia for my personal, and if you want weekly tips on social media and business related, go ahead and follow me to my business page. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.